Good evening. Welcome to World News. I am Wisdom Onisi. First, the headlines. Bandits, insurgents may hijack Hongal protest, says Nigeria government. Sudan sets conditions for U.S.-supported peace negotiations. Ismail Nahiyer's assassination in Tehran blame on Israel. On sports, Van Dosela signs for Arsenal. Now the news in details. We go on a short break. But I told you.
Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you.
Now we be this oh,
Hillstv, Poker.
This is Hillstv.
Quality broadcasting is what we'll bring to you.
Now we be this oh,
Hillstv, Poker.
Good evening. Welcome to World News. I am Wisdom Onisi. First, the headlines. Bandits, insurgents may hijack hunger protest, says Nigerian government. Sudan set condition for U.S.-supported peace negotiation. Ismail Haniyeh's assassination in Tehran blamed on Israel. And on sport, Van Domsela signs for Arsenal. Now the news in details. The Secretary to Government of the Federation, Senator Judge Akume, raised concerns over the planned hunger protest billed for August 1st, 10th, claiming that the demonstration may be hijacked by bandits and insurgents. He said rather than protest, Nigerians should engage the government through another means to ensure the current administration delivers on its promise. Government is wary of the dangers associated with protests that are vulnerable to being hijacked by bandits, insurgents, and other criminals. He added that demonstration is not the solution to the challenges which the President Bola Tinubu-led administration is working to solve. Away from that, the Chief of the Air Staff Corps, Air Marshal Hassan Abubakar, has revealed that airstrikes by the Nigerian Air Force destroyed over 70 illegal refinery sites and about 80 overhead tanks in the past 3 months. The Air Chief reviewed this when he received the National Coordinator of Marshal New Guard Security and Consulting Limited, Major General Jamil Sahim, and his entourage at the NAV headquarters in Abuja. The Corps, in a statement by NAV Director of Public Relations and Information, Edward Gebert, speaking on the current state of oil production in Nigeria, emphasized the severe negative impact of oil theft and pipeline vandalism on Nigeria oil output. He said the menace has led to a significant decline in crude oil production and substantial revenue losses to the nation. Abubakar also highlighted the environmental consequences of these illegal activities, including air pollution and waterway contamination with attendant effect on aquatic life and agriculture. The Independent National Electoral Commission has promised journalists unpaid access and enhanced security for voters and personnel in the Edo and Ondo governorship elections. INEC has scheduled the Edo State governorship election for September 21st, 2024 and the Ondo State election for November 16th, 2024. INEC Chairman Mahmood Yakubu said this during INEC's quarterly consultative meeting with media executives on Wednesday in Abuja. He urged newsmen to continue combating fake news ahead of the election. He stated it is now 51 days to the Edo State governorship election coming up on Saturday, 21st September 2024. He said their preparations are ongoing in earnest. Yakubu stated that political campaigns by parties and candidates are actively going on in Edo and Ondo State. When we return, news from other parts of Africa. Stay with us. Welcome back. Now news from other parts of Africa. Sudan's foreign ministry on Tuesday set out conditions for participating in U.S.-backed peace talks in Switzerland next August, including plural consultations on the agenda and who can attend. The ministry was responding to a U.S. invitation for the Sudanese army and the paramilitary rapid support forces to hold talks from August 14th in Geneva, with Saudi Arabia as a co-host. The talks would be overseen by the United Nations, the African Union, the United Arab Emirates, and Egypt. Sudan Foreign Ministry said any talks must be preceded by consultations with the Sudanese government on the agenda and participants. It also called for direct talks between Sudan and the U.S. to prepare for the negotiation. Any negotiation before the implementation of the Jeddah Declaration, which stipulates a comprehensive withdrawal and cessation of expansion, will not be acceptable to the Sudanese people. The ministry further said, referring to an agreement reached in Saudi Arabia in May between the warring sides that was meant to protect civilians and facilitate aid deliveries. The ministry said the RSF must be forced to withdraw from cities and towns and end attacks against civilians as prerequisite for any peace talk. Away from that, Libya repatriated 369 irregular migrants to their home countries, Nigeria and Mali, including more than 100 women and children, an official told newsmen. A group of Nigerian migrants were repatriated to their homes country from Libya in cooperation, I beg your pardon, with the International Organization for Migration to get ready to board a plane at Tripoli Airport. Mohamed Barada, head of the Libyan Interior Ministry organization tasked with halting irregular migration, said 2 repatriation flights took place, transporting 204 Nigerians and 165 Malians. 9 babies, 18 minors, and 108 women were among the Nigerian irregular migrants, said Barada. He said that the flights were carried out in coordination with the International Organization for Migration. The UN agency provides free return flights to migrants and help reintegrating them into their home countries with its voluntary humanitarian return program. Now we move to other parts of the world after this break. Please stay with us. Welcome back. News from other parts of the world. Iran's Revolutionary Guard confirmed the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Tehran. Hamas blamed Israel for the attack. Haniyeh was in Tehran for the inauguration of President Masoud Pezeshkian. Iran did not reveal the circumstances of Haniyeh's death, and the Revolutionary Guard stated that they are currently investigating the incident. Following the dead attack by Hamas on October 7th, which resulted in 1,200 fatalities and around 250 hostages, Israel has committed to eliminating Haniyeh's and other Hamas leaders. An Israeli military spokesperson has yet to respond to inquiries. Hamas claims that Haniyeh was killed in a Zionist airstrike on his home in Tehran after he participated in the inauguration of Iran's new president. Haniyeh has been living in exile in Qatar since he left the Gaza Strip in 2019. Away from that, Russian President Putin doubled upfront payment for volunteers to fight in Ukraine on Wednesday, a move aimed at facilitating military recruitment but likely to create imbalances in the overheated economy. All Russians who sign a contract with the army will now receive an upfront payment of 400,000 rubles, that is 4,651 US. The decree also recommends that regional authorities match this payment from their budget with at least the same amount, with the minimum monthly payment for a private participating in what Russia calls a special military operation set at 204,000 rubles. The new decree raises the minimum annual wage in the first year of service to 3.25 million rubles, that is 37,791 US. Monthly wages for officers are higher and depend on their rank. All recruits also receive additional money for participating in offensive or destroying army tanks and their other machineries. Up next is business. Please stay with us. Welcome back now to business news. The Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited has announced its goal to increase crude oil production to 2 million barrels per day by the end of the year. The country's daily production rose from 2.27 million barrels in June to 1.6 million in July, according to the Nigerian Upstream Petroleum Regulatory Commission. Speaking during a meeting with maritime stakeholders at the Nigerian Navy headquarters on Tuesday, the Group Managing Director of NNPC, Mele Kyari, expressed optimism that the target would be met, emphasizing that NNPC was fully committed to achieving it. Represented by the Managing Director of the pipeline NNPC, Foloshorisho Karim, I beg your pardon, the oil firm's boss urged security agencies to continue their effort against oil theft and pipeline vandalism to help the company meet its target. Away from that, U.S. labor costs increased moderately in the second quarter as private sector wages grew at the lowest pace in 2 years. More evidence that inflation was firmly on a downward trend and could help facilitate an interest rate cut in September. The report from the Labor Department on Wednesday followed data last week showing inflation subsided considerably last quarter, with soft 3% readings in all the measures. The modest rise in labor costs is likely to be welcomed by Federal Reserve officials who are wrapping up a two-day policy meeting on Wednesday. The U.S. Central Bank is expected to leave its benchmark overnight interest rate in the 5.25% to 5.50% range, where it has been since last July. The Employment Cost Index, the broadest measure of labor cost, increased 0.9% last quarter after rising by an unrevised 1.2% in the first quarter. The Labor Department Bureau of Labor Statistics reviewed this. Still to come is sport. Please stay with us. Welcome back now to sport news. Nigerian Premier Football League side Kano Pillars have parted ways with head coach Paul Ofor weeks after his appointment. Ofor's disengagement was confirmed in a statement on the side Masul Gida's X account on Wednesday. Kano Pillars stated that the decision was reached in good faith and with mutual consent. The newly appointed chairman of the club, Ali Mohammed Omar, praised the young tactician despite his brief stay with the team. Kano Pillars will appoint a new technical advisor before the commencement of the new NPFL season. Novak Djokovic remained comfortably on course for a first Olympic gold medal to add to his record-breaking collection of titles on Wednesday as fellow superstars Rafael Nadal and Carlos Alcaraz aimed for a place in the doubles semi-finals. Djokovic, who has won 3 of his 24 Grand Slam titles on the clay courts of Roland Garros, defeated German left-hander Dominic Kofer 7-5, 6-3 to become the first man to reach 4 Olympic single quarterfinals. The 37-year-old Serb has only ever collected a bronze at the Olympics back in 2008 at Beijing, but he was rarely troubled on Wednesday by his 70th ranked opponent, whose challenge eventually fizzled out. Djokovic, who had breezed past old rival Rafael Nadal in the second round, goes on to face 11th ranked Stefanos Tsitsipas, the Greek he defeated in the 2021 French Open final. Away from that, goalkeeper Dauphin Van Domcela has joined Arsenal from Women's Super League rivals Aston Villa. Van Domcela signed for Villa in June 2023 and made 15 appearances during her first season in English football. The Dutch woman made her international debut in 2022 and has gone on to win 27 caps. She represented her country at the Euro in 2022 and the World Cup in 2023. And that's your sport news on World News. We move to the rest of the news after this break. Stay with us.
This is Hillstv.
Welcome back. Now the rest of the news. A group of hardline supporters of Iran's government took to the streets at the University of Tehran to protest against the assassination of Ismail Haniyeh. The political leader of Palestinian militant group Hamas was killed in a missile strike in the city early on Wednesday morning, hours after he attended the swearing-in of Iran's new president. Haniyeh's death has drawn threats of revenge against Israel. While the reported missile strike appears to be the latest daring Israeli operation targeting its enemies around the world, the Israeli government has reported yet to comment on his death. The assassination of Haniyeh comes at a precarious time in the ongoing war between Israel and Hamas in Gaza. He had been taking part in internationally brokered talks on reaching a ceasefire in the Palestinian enclave. In addition, the location of the assassination increases the prospect of the conflict escalating into a regional war. Iran's supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei on Wednesday described avenging Haniyeh's assassination as Tehran's duty because it occurred in the Iranian capital. And that's World News. But before we go, here are the headlines again. We told you that bandits, insurgents may hijack hunger protests, says Nigerian government. We brought to you that Sudan sets conditions for US-supported peace negotiation. We also told you that Ismail Haniyeh's assassination in Tehran blamed on Israel. And on sport, we told you that Van Domcela signs for Arsenal. Remember to visit us on Facebook at Hillstv Abuja, Instagram at Hillstv Abuja, and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Hillstv. I am Wisdom Onyisi. Thank you for watching.